Hello and welcome to my channel The Complete CSC Guide, and I am Sanskriti. Now in our previous class we have seen about framing. I have taught you about framing, which was the function of our data link layer. We are going through the data link layer in networking, and in this particular class we will be studying about the flow control. As in data link layer there are different functions which we are studying in these classes. So in today's class we will be studying about the flow control, how the data frames when they are transmitted from the sender and to the receiver, and the acknowledgement which we are getting from the receiver to the sender, how this flow of frames are controlled, how this transmission media when through this transmission medium these frames are transmitted by the sender, how that is controlled by the receiver, how this flow is controlled when the frames are being transmitted from sender to receiver and the acknowledgement from receiver to sender. So this particular function is being controlled by this data link layer. So how these things are going on, these are the topic, this is the particular topic which we will be discussing today in our class. Okay, so first of all I want to tell you that in data link layer, as in the previous class we have seen, the main thing is frames. Whenever we are talking about the data link layer, what comes in our mind, that is the first thing, that is our frames. So here we are talking about the frames, here we are working about with the frames. So frames are the particular data which is going to be transmitted from sender to receiver. So here the type of data or the form of data which we are dealing with, that is our frames, right? Now, so the flow control in data link layer. Today this is our topic, what we are going to see. Now, what is flow control? Set of procedure used to restrict the amount of data that the sender can send before waiting for acknowledgement. So whenever the sender is sending some data, suppose I am the sender and you are the receiver, so I am sending you some data. But what is the thing, when I am teaching you in this class, suppose I have some students in front of me. Since here you are not able to talk to me, but suppose the students who are in front of me, when I am talking to them, when I am teaching them, so I am giving them some points, right? So one by one points I am transmitting to them. I am telling them each and every point from some any text. Okay, so one by one point when I am transmitting to the students, I am telling them each and every point they are writing some in their notebook or anything else. Then when they are writing at a certain point, when they will see that yes, this up to this point we have understood, but this point we have missed, right? So at that particular time they will tell me that this point we have missed. I will again transmit that particular point to the person. But if they are continuously, whenever I am going to tell them the points, I am transmitting the points, right? So they are receiving that points. I am telling them point by point and they are receiving that one. After each point, what I am doing, I am waiting till they are telling me yes ma'am, complete. Then again I am transmitting the next point, right? So this is what is happening here also. So what is my point? I am giving them one point to write. I am telling them yes, write this one. The first layer of the OSI model is the physical layer. So I am giving this point to my students. I am the sender, and this particular knowledge is my frame which I am sending to my students. They are my receiver. Now what is happening? This particular thing, after sending, I have sent my data frames. Then I am waiting for my acknowledgement, what they are going to say. If they are telling yes ma'am, complete, this is my acknowledgement which I am getting from the receiver. Now I have received my acknowledgement that yes, we have completed. Now what I will do, I will again transmit the second point. But after transmitting the second point, maybe that is also received by them, they have written that also nicely, then they will tell yes ma'am, done. Now I will transmit the third point. But at this point, when I am transmitting the third point, maybe one of my students, he tells me that ma'am, I have not received your point, that I have not heard your point. That means my particular frame is lost, right? So in this case, what is happening, that particular receiver, he had not received my frame. That particular frame is lost. At that particular time, I will not receive any kind of acknowledgement. That receiving acknowledgement I am not receiving. So after a certain point of time, I will again retransmit that particular frame which was lost. Since I will think that yes, I am the sender, I will know that is no acknowledgement had came to me that yes, we have received. That means the receiver had not received my frame. I will again retransmit that particular frame to the receiver. So this is the thing which happens in case of data link layer also. The sender sends the particular frame, and it waits until again an acknowledgement is received, which is sent by the receiver to the sender. The sender is getting the acknowledgement. Yes, the receiver has received the frame. It's not lost. They have received. Again, it will send the next frame. Again, it will get the acknowledgement. Again, it will send the next frame. So this is the thing what is happening. But at a certain point of time, when it will not, the sender will not receive any kind of acknowledgement, then what will happen? Then the sender will retransmit the frame. Since after a certain amount of time, it will come to know that yes, my particular frame is lost. It had not been sent to the received by the receiver. So this is the thing what happens in case of this frame flow control. Okay, so setup procedure used to restrict the amount of data that the sender can send before waiting for acknowledgement. So it is to restrict the data, right? Restrict the data. What? These are some procedures. Flow control is what? It's some procedures. What kind of procedures? Used to restrict the amount of data, right? Here what is our data? Frame. And that the sender can send before receiving the acknowledgement. So we are restricting the data, right? That one frame I am sending, then I am restricting it. This is my flow control. I am restricting the sender. No, you cannot send again any frame until and unless you are getting the acknowledgement. So this restriction is done by some procedures. That is your flow control. Basically, this is the thing which is known as flow control mechanism, which is in your data link layer. So this is happening. Now, receiving device. What is the receiving device? So sending is okay. Now, receiving device, limited speed and limited memory to store data. Now, in receiving, what is the main thing? Receiving device should have some limited speed, right? So its speed should be limited, because since I am sending one particular data or one particular frame, so the receiver will have a limited speed of receiving a particular frame. After receiving that, then it will send the acknowledgement. So a particular speed is there, okay, limited speed is there. Again, some limited memory is also there. To store the data, some limited memory is there, present there. It cannot store more than the memory which it have to store. It can store that much memory. It doesn't have more memory. If the sender is going on sending it, it is not waiting for the acknowledgement, it is going on sending the frames, the receiver will not be able to receive the data, since it have a limited speed to receive and it have a limited space or a limited memory to store the data. That's why this flow control is used. Since flow of any data, continuous flow of data or frames, the receiver cannot receive. It had a limited speed to receive and a limited memory space where it can store the data. That's why we use this flow control mechanism to restrict the amount of data, right? Now, receiving device must be able to inform the sending device to stop the transmission temporarily before limits are reached. This is again a thing. The receiving device they have the mechanism, or must be able to inform the sending device that stop the transmission temporarily until the particular limit is reached. What kind of limit? That particular speed limit of receiving and the particular memory limit that is reached. Until it had been reached, okay, you send, but when it is reached the particular limit, stop the transmission temporarily. This is the thing which the receiving device should tell the sending device, right? So this is the particular thing which you have to keep in mind. So the receiving device should have the ability to stop the sending device, that you please stop until the particular capacity is reached or the particular limit is reached, you can send. But when the limit is reached, you please stop temporarily so that we can process, right? Now, it requires a buffer, a particular buffer, then a block of memory for storing the info until they are processed. So until they are processed, some particular storing memory is required. Now, here you can see the diagram. This is of the data link layer. So this is the producer and this is the producer. This is the sending node and receiving node. Now this is the flow control. So this particular thing, it is sending the sending node. It is sending a flow control message to the receiver, to the sender, right? So this flow control is the whole mechanism which is controlled by the sender. The sender is controlling, the receiver is sending some kind of message to temporarily stop the service or the transmission. So this is what mechanism is known as flow control mechanism. Now, next is flow of data control method. Now, how we are going to control the flow of data? That we have two kinds of algorithms. One is stop and wait algorithm, which is very famous, and second is sliding window. So these two kinds of mechanisms or methods are used to control the flow of data in your data link layer, right? Now, stop and wait, what is that? So simplest scheme is to stop and wait algorithm. The simplest scheme which can be used in case of your data link layer flow control, that is stop and wait algorithm. Stop and wait. So you have to stop and you have to wait for the acknowledgement. Now, sender waits for an acknowledgement after every frame is sent. So after the sender is sending the data, the frames, then it had to wait. The sender is sending, it is stopping and waiting for the acknowledgement to be received by the sender, which is being sent by the receiver. So after each frame, the sender have to stop and wait until the receiver is sending a acknowledgement. So this is what is the stop and wait, that you have the sender is sending, it is then stopping of the this transmission, particular transmission, and it is waiting for getting the acknowledgement from the receiver for each and every frame. After sending each and every frame, it is doing the same thing. Okay, so when acknowledgement is received, then only the next frame is sent. When it is getting the acknowledgement from the receiver, then only it is sending the next frame. So again, after sending the next frame, again it will stop the transmission until and unless it will have to wait until and unless the receiver is sending the acknowledgement that yes, I have received your frame, so and so frame. So this is the particular thing which happens in case of stop and wait protocol. Now, process of alternately sending and wait of a frame continues until the sender transmits the EOT, end of transmission frame. That is your EOT, end of transmission, right? So end of transmission, what is this one? The ending frame. It will be known as end of transmission. So EOT is the end of transmission, that yes, I have sent all the frames and the particular whatever things, the whatever data I had, I have sent all the data and now I don't have anything to send now. The receiver will know, yes, now I don't have to give any acknowledgement since end of transmission had been received. My transmission had ended. So now I don't have to send any acknowledgement since the transmission process, whole transmission process is ended. So this is the EOT, which is the end of transmission. Okay, so here you can see what is happening. Now, if acknowledgement not received within the allotted time, sender assumes the frame is lost during transmission. So retransmit the frame. So within the allotted time, some allotted time is there. Okay, which I have already told you, some allotted time is there. Within that particular time, the sender will send the data, then it will stop the transmission, it will wait. But how much time it can wait, right? How much time it will be waiting? It cannot wait for a whole huge day or a whole time, whatever time it needs to send the acknowledgement, or maybe the acknowledgement is not sent, the sender is still waiting. No, the sender will wait for a particular time. After that time, allotted time, when the receiver had not sent the acknowledgement, if it had not received the acknowledgement, then it will think that yes, the frame had been lost, and it will retransmit the particular frame which it had sent previously. If it gets the acknowledgement, then it will send the next frame. If not got the acknowledgement within the allotted time, then the previous frame, that is the retransmission, will happen. Acknowledgement may not arrive due to, there are 3 reasons. We will go later. Now, what is the thing happening here? As you can see here in the figure also, this is the sender and this is the receiver. What is happening? First of all, the sender is sending the data. This is the data is being sent by the sender to the receiver. Next, the receiver is sending the acknowledgement, right? Again, the sender is sending the data. Again, the receiver is sending the acknowledgement. Again, the sender is sending the data. Again, the acknowledgement is received. Last one, when the whole data had been sent, whole information had been sent, the EOT is sent to the receiver. When the receiver will receive the EOT, that is the end of transmission, the receiver will know, yes, this is the end of my transmission, and I don't have to send anything else to the sender. So that is the end of whole transmission. That particular point, that EOT is the signal that yes, I have sent the whole message. Now I don't have any other frame to send. The whole transmission process is ended here. So this is the process how the whole transmission goes on. If so, what is the main point here which we have seen here? The main point is, first of all, sender, it sends data, right? That is, it sends the frame, not data, frame to the receiver. Okay, here the receiver is there. Next, the receiver will send the ACK, that is your acknowledgement. Now, 2 kind of cases can have. If the acknowledgement is received, then what will happen? Next frame, the sender will send the next frame, right? But if no acknowledgement, then retransmit the previous frame, right? So this is the thing what is happening here. And when end comes, it will be EOT. So this is the thing which is happening. So you have to just understand this particular point. ACK, if the sender sends the frame, receiver sends ACK, that is the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement received, then next frame. No acknowledgement, retransmit the previous frame. And end will be EOT, that is the end of the transmission. So this is the whole process which is going to happen in case of the transmission, right? Each and every place you will find the same thing. Same thing is happening. When it's receiving the acknowledgement, it will send the next frame. No acknowledgement, previous frame, right? Now, so this is the particular thing which is going on within the sender and the receiver. The sending and receiving of frames and acknowledgement. Lastly, EOT means end of transmission. Now, the new thing which is happening here, that is why the frames are lost. What kind of things are happening that the frames are lost? What is happening there? So 3 kinds of cases can happen. That is, ACK may not receive due to the acknowledgement cannot be received. Why? So first one, original frame is lost. The original frame which I have sent to the receiver, that is lost. If that is lost, then obviously within the space, this is happening within the space. So when I am sending the original frame, that is lost. So the receiver is not getting the frame. Again, a particular allotted time slot is there with the receiver also. Within that particular time slot, if the receiver is not receiving any kind of signal, so if it is not receiving, then how it can send any kind of acknowledgement? If it is getting some frame, only at that particular time it will send us acknowledgement. But when it is not getting anything, it is not getting any kind of frame, no message is got by the receiver, it will not send any kind of acknowledgement that yes, I have not got your message, or I have not received your frame. That will be not transmitted by the receiver. The receiver will stand still, that nothing had came to me. For the receiver, nothing had received by him, so it is in 0 position only. So the sender has sent the frame, it is lost. Receiver had not received anything, it will not send anything. Now how the sender will know that the receiver had not received anything? Same thing, the particular time limit. It will wait for that particular time limit, nothing had been received, then it will again retransmit. So this is the case, you can see here, this is the timeout, that is the particular time limit. Sender is sending the frame and this frame is lost. Okay, the sender has sent the frame and this frame is lost in space. So the receiver is not receiving anything, right? Now the sender will wait for the timeout, that is for the particular timeout means a particular time for a particular transmission, right? So for a particular transmission, suppose the time is 5 minutes. So the sender will wait for 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes no acknowledgement have been received by him, he will not know, the sender will not know that what had happened, whether my particular frame is lost or if the acknowledgement was sent by the receiver, that is lost. Doesn't matter. The sender will send the data, again it will retransmit the frame. Since it had not received any acknowledgement, it will retransmit the frame. Now the receiver had received the frame, so it will send the acknowledgement. So this is the original frame is lost. In case of the original frame is lost, that is the sender is sending the frame but it is lost in the space, the receiver will receive no frame, it will stay still, it will not send any kind of acknowledgement, nothing. The sender will wait for a particular timeout, that is for a particular time limit, allotted time, then it will retransmit the previous frame. So this is the first case which is about the loss of frame or acknowledgement, right? So here it is about the loss of frame, right? Next, if the acknowledgement is lost, frame is received, acknowledgement lost. Now sender is sending the frame, acknowledgement is being sent by the receiver. Now the acknowledgement is lost in space. Now what will happen? Again same thing, the sender will wait for a particular allotted time, again it will retransmit the frame. It will retransmit the frame and this time the acknowledgement is received. So this is the second case, sender is sending the frame, receiver is receiving the frame, receiver is sending the acknowledgement is lost. Sender will be waiting for the allotted amount of time, it will again retransmit the particular frame, receiver will receive and send the acknowledgement which is now received by the sender. So this is the second case of acknowledgement loss. So this was frame loss, now acknowledgement loss. Now acknowledgement arrives after the timeout. Now what is happening? Third case, first case frame lost, second case acknowledgement. Now I am sending the data frame and the acknowledgement is received by me, but what is this twist? Twist is the acknowledgement I am receiving, it is after the timeout. Suppose 5 minutes time limit is allotted for this transmission procedure. Sender is sending the data, receiver is sending the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement is being received by the sender, but the twist is it is after the timeout, that is the allotted time. Timeout means the allotted time. So if it was 5 minutes, so I am receiving the acknowledgement, but after this 5 minutes, I am getting it after 6 minutes, right? So this is what is happening when it is for timeout. So sender is sending the frame, receiver is receiving the acknowledgement. Now sender is sending the frame, acknowledgement is received after the timeout. So again same thing, it will be also taken as no acknowledgement received. In each and every case, the sender, if it is getting the acknowledgement after the timeout, it also means that it is not getting the acknowledgement. It will act same as not getting the acknowledgement. Within the timeout, if the acknowledgement is received, then only the sender will think that yes, it will be sure that yes, I have received the acknowledgement. But after the timeout, if the sender is receiving the acknowledgement, it is of no use. Again, when after 5 minutes the sender is not receiving the acknowledgement, it will retransmit the frame. It will not wait for the 6th minute or it will not wait for the 7th minute. After 5 minutes, it had been allotted 5 minutes time. After 5 minutes, it will retransmit. So if the acknowledgement is received after 5 minutes, that is on the 6th minute, it doesn't matter. It will be same same thing the sender will do, it will retransmit the previous frame. So in each and every case here, whether original frame lost, acknowledgement lost, or acknowledgement received after the timeout, same thing will be done, that is the previous frame will be retransmitted. So these are the three cases, okay, where the frames will be retransmitted, right? Now next is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this particular stop and wait. So advantages method is simple, as every frame is checked. So it is simple as well as it is also typically right. Why typically right? Since you will see why it is typically right in your next classes. But today, why it is right? Since each and every frame is checked, the chances for frame loss is very less. Since each and every frame is checked nicely, that it is sent, it is received, acknowledgement received, each and everything is checked nicely and typically. So it is simple method. Sender sending, receiving the acknowledgement, again sending, receiving the acknowledgement. So simple procedure and typically right. Why? Since each and every frame is checked, the chances of loss of data is very less, right? Now what are the disadvantages? That is, only one frame at any point of time is used. We at a particular point of time, we are going to just focus on a particular frame only. The sender is sending the frame, waiting for the acknowledgement, getting the acknowledgement, not getting, again return. So the whole time limit, whole transmission medium, whole time limit is, whole time span is depending on only one particular frame. It is time consuming, isn't it? Since it is sending, if sent is okay, acknowledgement, then again if not sent, again retransmit, not sent, again retransmit. So the whole time span is depending on a particular frame. So time consuming method, right? If it's okay that sending an acknowledgement received, then it's okay. But if not received, then how much time will be taken by the sender and receiver to send a particular frame? Until and unless the frame is sent to the receiver and the sender is getting perfectly the acknowledgement, it will go on sending, retransmitting the same frame. So it is time consuming. Second, that is your transmission media. Not good use of transmission media. Transmission media is also not nicely used, since one frame at a time will take more and more time, as well as it will just go on sending the same frame. The transmission medium is also not efficiently used. So efficient use of the transmission media is not here. The transmission media is not efficiently used. So these are the two disadvantages which is of your stop and wait algorithm. Now next is piggybacking. What is the piggybacking? Piggybacking is also a very important topic which comes in your exam, but it's not a lengthy topic. It's a very small topic, maybe the definition or maybe some points related to this particular thing that can come in your exam. So I have concluded this topic also. So what is that? Combine a data frame with acknowledgement. Now it is getting more intelligent system. Since now I am combining my data with the acknowledgement. Since I am sending the data with the acknowledgement also, that yes, I am sending data, the acknowledgement. Again the receiver will send me the acknowledgement. Again I will send the frame, the data and the acknowledgement. So this is happening here. A is sending that here station saves bandwidth. So bandwidth is saved here. Okay, the bandwidth which was not utilized nicely, it was not saved in the previous process, now it is saved. The bandwidth is saved now in this process, right? Since it is taking the frame as well as the acknowledgement. So station A, B both have data to send. A and B both have data to send. They both have some data. They want to send the data, right? So A also have some data. B is also having some data to send. Both the stations. So now what will happen? If they will send, wait, again acknowledgement, then this will send the data, acknowledgement. No. Here both the stations, the sender receiver, both are sender receiver now. Both wants to send the data. They both have some data to send. So here what will happen? Station send data frame with acknowledgement. Now station A, what it will do? Station A will send the data with acknowledgement and B will also do the same thing. Now they have the data, they have to send the acknowledgement. Both of them have to work as the sender and the receiver. So this piggybacking is going to help here, right? Now what will we have to do? See, the sender is sending frame 0 and acknowledgement 0, right? That is, it is sending its frame, that is 0, and it is sending its acknowledgement, that is 0, right? Now this particular thing, that is B, it is sending acknowledgement 1. Yes, I have a acknowledgement, and it is sending its frame, that is 0. Sender A is sending the first frame. So whenever here what happens, this particular thing, it is measured as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I have 5 frames, then this will be the number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So sender is sending the first frame. Now what will be the number? Frame will be 0, first frame, and acknowledgement also 0, since it doesn't have anything received, so it doesn't have any acknowledgement to send. Now B is sending acknowledgement 1. Yes, I have received your frame. B have some frame now. B is sending, yes, my acknowledgement is 1. I have received your frame, right? So I am sending acknowledgement 1. Yes, I have received your frame. But B will send a frame 0. Why? B is sending the first frame, right? B is sending the first frame. So B will send frame 0. But acknowledgement 1, since he have received the frame. Now what A will do? A is now sending the next frame. Okay, so A is sending frame 1. Now again acknowledgement also 1. Why acknowledgement 1? For this particular frame which B have sent, A have some acknowledgement now. A have some acknowledgement that yes, I have received your frame. So A is sending the frame, the acknowledgement as 1. Yes, I have received one frame, and it will send the next frame, that is 0, then now 1, next frame it is sending. Now B will send acknowledgement 0 and frame 1. Now B is sending the frame 1, next frame. So B was sending 0, now frame, and its acknowledgement will be 0 now. So this is the thing, since here received, again next will be frame 2, which will be sent by A. Like this it will go on. B will again send frame 2. So this will be going on changing. So this is piggybacking when both the stations have something to send and receive. They both are acting as the sender and the receiver. So they both need the data to be sent, and whatever they have got received, the frames, they need to send the acknowledgement also. So whatever data they are receiving, they are sending that particular data and the acknowledgement of that particular frame. So this is what is happening in piggybacking. That is two-way, right? Now sliding window. Sliding window is again a second type of method which is used for the flow control. What is happening here? Sender can transmit several frames before getting an acknowledgement. Now it is getting more intelligent system, right? Now the sender can send more and more numbers of frames. So it can transmit several frames now before getting an acknowledgement. So now it can send so many frames. First of all, it was sending only this one frame acknowledgement. Then this, now it can send a particular, it can send several number of frames now. Okay, now it can send several number of frames. Several number of frames can be sent, and acknowledgement will be 1. How the sender will know that yes, how the receiver will tell the sender how it will give the acknowledgement. If I am sending 4 frames at a time, maybe some of my frames are lost or something else, but if I am sending 4 frames at a time and the receiver will send me one acknowledgement, then how the receiver will tell me how it will send the acknowledgement for these all 4 frames. For one frame it is yes giving an acknowledgement, but for 4 frames how it will be giving me the acknowledgement? Let's see. So this is what is there in your sliding window. Now here it is transmitting several frames before an acknowledgement. One frame, one acknowledgement, stop and wait. Several frames, one acknowledgement, sliding window. Keep that in mind. Now multiple frames can be sent one after the another, due to which capacity of the communication channel can be utilized efficiently, which was the transmission medium. So which was a disadvantage in your stop and wait algorithm. Now we are efficiently using the transmission channel, the transmission medium. At that time, that was not efficiently used, but here we are efficiently using the transmission media. Here, that particular thing, this advantage is going to be an advantage for here. Now, single acknowledgement is for multiple frames, single acknowledgement for multiple frames. How? Now, refers to imaginary boxes at both sender and receiver. Here are some imaginary boxes which is going to be shown by some imaginary boxes, how the frames are transmitted. Here it will be shown by that particular boxes. Okay. Now, window can hold frames at either end. Here you can see windows can hold frames at both the ends, the sender end or the receiver end. So what is happening? There is a window. What kind of window? The sender window and the receiver window, which will have the frames, which can have some frames, right? Now, window can hold frames at either end, provides upper limit on the number of frames that can be transmitted before the acknowledgement. Now, some upper limit is said. What kind of upper limit? That particular upper limit, the number of frames that can be transmitted before the acknowledgement. So here some limit is there. What kind of limit? 3 to 4 frames. 4 frames I can send before I receive the acknowledgement. Here also the flow control technique is there. You cannot send more and more frames, going on sending 6 frames, 8 frames, 10 frames. I'm not getting an acknowledgement. No. Here also some upper limit is there. You have to see that upper limit. Suppose 4 frames. After this 4 frames, when you are sending the 4 frames, the receiver will see, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have received my 4 frames. Okay. Now my students are getting more intelligent. I was telling them one point, they were writing that point, yes ma'am, we have written. Then they have told me, then I will again tell them the next point. They will say, yes ma'am, we have written. Now my students are getting more intelligent. Now I will be giving them 4 points. Okay, one by one. So I will be giving them 4 points. They will write that point and they will give me one acknowledgement, yes ma'am, done. Then after that, I will again give them 4 points. Again they will write those points and they, yes ma'am, done. So now the system is more intelligent system. What is happening here? The upper limit, but a upper limit is there. The students will tell me, ma'am, up to 4 points we can write. Then again you have to tell us. After 4 points we will tell you that yes, we have done. But more than 4 points we cannot write together. Right? So here also some upper limit is there. That particular upper limit, the receiver will receive up to that upper limit. After that, it will not receive. Okay, so 4 or 5 or 6, what is the whatever number, but a particular number is there, a upper limit is there for the receiver to receive the frames before it sends a acknowledgement. The sender also have upper limit of sending the frames, after which it have to wait for the acknowledgement. Maybe it can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, anything, but a upper limit is there. Okay, so it is very important, since upper limit should be there. If it doesn't have an upper limit, then what is the purpose of flow control? To control the flow, some upper limit have to be there, since it is sending so many frames but receiving one acknowledgement. Now, so again a limit on the frames is there. Okay, frames can be acknowledged even when the window is not completely filled off. If the window is not completely filled off, the receiving window is not completely filled off, the frames can be acknowledged. Okay, now window specific size numbers are given as modulo n. That is, I have told you 0 to n minus 1. This is the thing, how the numbers of frames are given, the modulo n, right? Now, suppose that if I have number of frames 8, so it will be given as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what will be the size? Size will be n minus 1. Okay, so this is the thing, that is, if I have 8 frames, the size of the window will be n minus 1, that is 7. So 7, up to 7, the frames, whatever numbers will be, numbering will be up to 7. So this is the thing. Now, maximum n minus 1 frames can be sent before acknowledgement. Now, maximum you can send up to this n minus 1 frames you can send before getting the acknowledgement. So whatever is the size of your window, up to n minus 1 frames you can send before getting an acknowledgement. Receiver, same thing, n-1 frames can be received by the receiver before sending the acknowledgement. Okay, so this is the particular thing. Now, when receiver sends acknowledgement, it includes number of next frame that it wants to receive. Okay, so this is the main point here. How the receiver will send the acknowledgement. I have received 4 frames. The receiver cannot send like that. The acknowledgement cannot be sent like that, that yes, I have received 4 frames. No, it cannot send that one. So how it will do? The sender will send frames up to 0 to 4. Right? It have limit up to 5 frames. So it is sending 0 to 4. The sender is receiving to the receiver. Sender is sending to the receiver. So these amount of frames have been sent. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The receiver had received this number of frames. These particular frames the receiver have received. Now how the receiver will tell that yes, I have received all the 4 frames? The receiver have to send something which the sender will know that yes, it had received. So it cannot send 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. It will send the acknowledgement. How? It will send the acknowledgement as ACK5. Why 5? I have received these 4 frames, these 5 frames, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want frame number 5. That means your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 frames have been received by me. Now I need frame number 5. Again, the sender, now what it will say? The sender will say now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What the receiver will send now? So here, if we have up to like this, so 9, then it will send ACK 10. Next frame number, up to what number the receiver will receive, it will send the acknowledgement with the next frame number which it want to receive. This is the process how this sliding window algorithm works. So there what was happening, for particular frame which was sent frame number 0, so acknowledgement will be also number 0. But here the frames are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The acknowledgement will be 5. That I want your 5th frame now. So like this, if I have a continuous message, a whole message that is happening, that is having so many frames, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose I have 7 messages. Suppose this is my particular windows, the sending window, which is having some frames like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since the n is equals to 8, so up to 7. Then again it will be repeated. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now the sender is sending this much. The receiver acknowledgement will be 5. Again the sender is sending this much. Receiver acknowledgement will be 2. Again the sender is sending this much. Receiver acknowledgement will be 7. I hope you understand, right? If you didn't understand, you can write to the comment section. I will again explain this to you. Okay. But I think you will be able to understand this thing very nicely. It's not very tough. But you have to use the logic. What is that? This much frames up to 4 received by the sender. Acknowledgement will be the next frame, that is 5. Again 5, sender is now sending 5, 6, 7, 0, 1. Now what will happen? The receiver will give acknowledgement 2. Then the sender will send 2, 3 this. Now next will be 7. So the next frame which the receiver wants to receive, when it is receiving a sequence of frames, it will send that acknowledgement with the number of the next frame which it wants to receive. So here in this case I am taking n is equals to 8. So if n is equals to 8, the numbers will be up to 7, again repeated up to 7. So in that case I am giving you example as this. If your number will be 10, then the frames will be up to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9, right? So this is the example what is happening here. So ultimately the point is the sender will send the acknowledgement for so many frames, right? So how it will give the acknowledgement for each and every frame, it cannot give individual acknowledgement. So it will give the acknowledgement with the number of the next frame which it wants to receive, right? So here sender 0 to 4 frames sent, receiver acknowledgement 5, means I want to receive the 5th frame now, means other frames are saved with me, I have received those frames. So this is the thing which is happening in the sliding window. Sliding window, the receiver will send the acknowledgement with the number that is the next frame which it wants to receive. Now what is happening within these windows, let's see. Sender window and receiver window, so these are called windows. Okay, sender window and receiver window. What is happening here in sender window? Beginning sender contains n-1 frame. Now n-1 frames are there with the sender, right? So if it is n equals to 8, then 7 frames up to n-1 is 7 frames. Now frames sent here, beginning receiver, n frames are there, n is equals to n, and spaces are up to n-1. For frames, the receiver have a receiving space, more memory space, which we have discussed before. So that will be of n-1 since the sender have n-1 number of frames. Now frames sent, size of window shrinks. When the frames are sent by the sender, the size of the window will shrink. New frame arrives, receiver is receiving the frame, again size of the window shrinks. So size of the window shrinks in both the cases. When the sender is sending, the receiver is receiving. In both the cases, the size of the window shrinks. Now size, if W, frames sent 3, new size will be W minus 3. Suppose if size of the window is W and the frames which the sender is sending, that is 3, so now the new size of the, that is, it is shrinking, right? So shrinking means what? W minus 3. How much it will shrink? W minus 3. Again here also same thing. If the size of window was W and the frames I have received is 3, again here also W minus 3 will be, it is also shrinking. In both the cases, the sender and receiver, the size is shrinking, the window size is shrinking. Now acknowledgement arrived, sender window will now expand to number of equal number, that is equal to frames acknowledged. When the acknowledgement is received, now the size is expanding up to the number of acknowledgement received, number which is equal to the acknowledgement received. Here also same, acknowledgement sent, receiver window expands by the number equal to frames acknowledged. Whatever frames are acknowledged, the same number will be expanded in both things, the sender and the receiver. Now here you can see what is happening. In case of the sender, what is happening? Suppose here it is the sender. Okay. So here it is the sender 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the whole window. Okay. So sender window, receiver window, same thing. Same things will be within this sender and receiver windows. What is the thing which you have to know? That is the direction. This is the direction here. This is my particular sender window up to this 6. This is my sender window. That is n-1. Right? So this is my sender window. Now when the frame is sent, whenever the frame is sent, what will happen? This particular thing will be moving to right. If this much frame is sent, then this window will slide to right. Again, here also the frames will be sliding to right like this. Okay, so this much frame sent. Now my window will be from this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to this. Now it will slide. Again, this window will also slide. Okay, this is the thing which is happening in the sender window. Receiver window, again same thing. This will move right when the frames are received. Frame will receive, this will move to right. And this particular thing, when acknowledgement received, will again move to right. So this is what is happening in the sliding window. So what is the thing? The window is sliding. Number of frames sent, number of frames received, the window will be sliding. It will be sliding to the right. So this much frame received, then what? This is done. Now it is again sliding. Again this much received, it will be sliding until the end of the transmission is received. Okay, so this is what is about the sliding window. The window is going on sliding. The receiver window and the sender window, after sending, after receiving, after sending the acknowledgement, receiving the acknowledgement, the whole window is sliding here in the right direction. It is moving. Okay, so it is going on moving. You can see the animations also. You will come to know about this thing, how this window is moving. So this particular window will be moving. That's why it is known as the sliding window. Why? Since there are number of frames which we are going on sending. So this much frame I have sent, the window is sliding to the next number. The acknowledgement is received, the number of which the acknowledgement is having, it will slide up to that number. Again from that number of frames it will going on sending up to, again acknowledgement is received, and same thing is happening here also in the receiver end also. Receiver is receiving up to this number of frames, then it will give an acknowledgement of number 5. This number 5, then this receiver window will also going on sliding. Right, it will also go on sliding. It will now go to up to this 5 if say, then it will slide from this to this particular. So it will also slide. That's why this particular thing is known as sliding window algorithm. So these two things are very important in case of your data link layer. Flow control of the data, how the data is being sent, received, it is there in your framing. Now after framing, how we are going to control the flow of data. Since continuous flowing of data, that is continuous transmission of data, continuous sending of data is not possible. So when the data are sending, the frames are sent by the sender, it have to be controlled by the sender, so that the receivers which have some limit of speed of receiving, as well as it have some limit of memory space of storing the data, so the sender have to do some kind of mechanism, it have to put some kind of mechanism which can flow the control of data. So to control the flow of a particular data, it can do two kinds of thing. One is stop and wait, and second is sliding window. These two kind of procedures can be done by the sender to control the flow of data, so that the transmission whole process goes on smoothly and efficiently. So this is what is the whole thing in your flow control of data link layer. Each and every point is important. Each and every algorithm is important. These two algorithms are very important for your competition purpose and for your examination purpose. If you have any kind of doubt, any kind of questions related to these topics, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you have any other topic which you want to know from me, you want me to teach you that particular topic from networking or from other subjects of our CSC, you can ask me that also. Okay, I am welcoming your suggestions as well as your queries. Right? If you like my channel, then you can subscribe, like and share with your friends. And if you want to give me any kinds of suggestions or any kinds of good suggestions, then you can give me that also. Okay, so till then, keep studying and goodbye.